forest it encompasses a big natural resource. It's plantations, it's mangroves, it's the coconut trees that are out there. So when we say forest, and then we say forest in relation to fire.
Forests play a vital and important role in our ecosystem. We depend on forests not only for our survival, but also for our livelihood. In Fiji, forests cover approximately 58% of the land area and provide an important contribution to the economic, environment and cultural well-being of the country. Unfortunately, uncontrolled burning of fires in some parts of the country is a major concern that is threatening the survival of some of our remaining forests and ecosystems.
Burning fires is a very serious matter. People are very careless. They don't realize the damage brought on by fires and the long-term effect it will cause.
We will examine and explore the issue of forest fires in Fiji.
A National Forest and Rural Fire Management workshop to develop a framework for National Forest and Rural Fire Management Strategy for Fiji was held in Singatoka, Fiji in November 2017. The workshop provided a space for various agencies, stakeholders, community representatives and government to raise awareness, share experiences and increase knowledge about forests and fires. The workshop was organized by Reforest Fiji project, funded by the European Union and implemented by the Pacific Community, SPC. The western part of the main island of Viti Levu in Fiji is much drier, and in the last few years, not only has there been droughts, but with the changing weather patterns, forest fires have also increased.
The Nalatawa village is used in here. Then you have the Talasinga land. These are all the degraded areas that they've used for shifting cultivation, for farming. Then further out you see the edge of the forest. So the areas where the fire is going to destroy is bigger now, because it'll naturally die down at the edge of the natural forest.
The increase in indiscriminate burning has caused untold damage to pine plantations throughout the Western Division, which is now a major cause of national concern. Educating and awareness is important, and in some districts, they've taken a step further by appointing forest wardens.
I've attended 7 village meetings, and in each meeting a time has been set aside in the agenda for the forest warden. I inform the meeting on the effects of burning fires and tell them that frequent burning leads to harmful effects and that we need to break this habit of always burning. I request the leaders and head of the village clans to please tell their people the hazards of burning and the long-term negative effect it will cause.
For many communities, fires are needed not only for cooking, but also for clearing and land preparation before planting food crops.
Farming is for our livelihood. Even though it's subsistence, but it's also for income source. And our way of farming, because of given the areas where we are, we'll always be planting on the hillside where there's no tractor that can work in that. There won't be any bullocks that can plow. So it will always require manual labor, which means land clearing will always be manual, and fire will always be the easier thing they resort to clear an area for planting.
Sometimes the use of fires to clear land can be devastating if not controlled, and can result in damage to water catchments, which in turn affects drinking water and the environment.
There are a number of harmful consequences, impacts. These include, of course, removing ground cover, killing trees. Our trees don't recover from fire very well like they do in Australia. Killing biodiversity, which is often unique to Fiji. And the removal of soil cover leads to a whole chain of events which can be very, very harmful in the long term. There is soil loss into the streams. ultimately into the rivers, which become shallower, so flooding is more easy to happen. And some of the finer silt goes into the marine environment, where if it's in contact with coral on a regular basis, as is often the case because the burning is an annual thing and it happens every year in the dry season.
There is no training on how to do, for them to do control burning. You know, it's an easier way for them to clear a small area, but they don't have the knowledge and the skills to conduct control burning.
Fires are not only harmful to the environment, but to humans, animals, and forest-dwelling species as well.
And the other aspect which we've been perhaps not so aware of is the harmful effects to health. A continuous high level of smoke in the air, atmosphere, as happens during the dry season in some areas around the sugar mill areas, can lead to respiratory problems, particularly with people who have asthma, and this would include tourists as well. And then there's a loss of work time if they have to take time off. There's medical bills and also doctor's treatment. Then, of course, smoke produces emissions. And we're on record, and we're doing our best with many others in the world, and we're taking a leadership role to reduce emissions. But in addition to producing emissions, we're removing the very trees that can naturally absorb those emissions.
For the village of Nalotawa in the district of Yakete, the message has gone through and burning has ceased. The community now realizes the harmful effects of fires, not only on the environment, but to themselves as well.
There are now no more fires in the areas that I look after. Many have heeded what I have been advocating. We have also noticed that some birds that had disappeared after the fires are now returning. We are all part of nature, and the birds are important to us. Now, laws are in place to prosecute those causing fires. I work closely with the village headmen, and I tell them if anything happens, call me.